Thank you everybody for that beautiful welcome. Good morning. You know, if you got a button, get yourself a round of applause simply by pushing it. Can you blame me? Oh, how is everybody on this Monday morning? Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. It's up in the air this morning, and I'll talk about it. But before that, drink it if you got it. Thank you, Mark Whistler, for this cup, complete with my buddy Kenny on the back. It's just as satisfying as if it actually had caffeine in it. How is everybody this morning? Monday. I see everybody got out of bed, and we'll wait for people to pile in this morning. I used to on my live streams, and I still do on Thursday night, I used to do a 5-minute countdown. Some people thought that was stupid. I started it 5 minutes before the live stream was supposed to start, and it gave people time to settle in, find it, because after it goes live, it pops up. Do a little pre-stream chat. Some other people give 10 and 15-minute pre-stream live time. I kind of settled in on this way, but it usually takes a little while for the viewers to settle in. Kiltz is doing a great job in the morning. His attendance has far eclipsed mine. I'm happy to see that. I'm surprised that he gets that early in the morning, but the efforts he's putting in to this are really, really something. So I'm very, very, very happy for him. And he was on this morning. Boy, he was on this morning. I saw a comment go by that said, John Beatty said, wow, Kiltz was really high energy this morning. Yes, he was. There was no doubt about it. And they had a great guest, very young man. Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Thank you so much. Lizzie is 43 today. Speaking of young, happy birthday, Lizzie. And speaking of young, I recorded a video yesterday, sitting out on my back porch, just kind of philosophizing about my hopes for the future of the carnivore movement and why and what we need to do about it. Not that anybody will be hearing it in great numbers, picking up on the concept, but I think you find it interesting. So that'll be out this afternoon. I hope you like it. It's not one of those videos designed for the masses, like how do you cook a hamburger in 30 seconds or something like that. It's something for carnivores who think. So I don't expect massive views on it, but I don't care. I don't care. I think I say something that absolutely needs to be said and heard if our little movement has any chance of growing. And if you watch it, you'll understand exactly what I mean and why it's so important. So that out of the way, I want to thank Tanya. Tanya Kitchen Witch has bought me some coffees this morning, first thing Monday morning. What a nice way to start. 3 coffees. And let me see what she said. I know she left me a note on it. It said, some coffee for the Mitch machine. How about that? Thank you. Thank you so much, Tanya. Really appreciate it. Always a great excuse to put my link in there, so I did. And thank you very much. What else do I have in my notes this morning? Let's see. I have been up since dark 30. I watched the entire, well, I listened like a podcast. I watched and listened to Kilts as I got started this morning. I didn't see Alia there. He was in, I don't know if she was in Bozeman, but he was in Bozeman over the weekend. If she was there, she was probably trying to get back home to Columbia today. And see my show notes. What else did I have to say? I want to thank Tina Schweikerath for coming to visit me yesterday. It was a blast. I think everybody that was there, we had good attendance. We got up to almost 150 people. Enjoyed the hell out of it because Tina is a firecracker. Very appropriate for the 4th of July weekend, which I'm happy to say, after even fireworks last night too, that most of the lunatic neighbors that I have, believe it or not, finally will not have an excuse to keep the rest of us awake until the wee hours of the morning with their noise. Most of them don't even know what they're celebrating, so we just got to put up with it. Hopefully tonight we'll get a little peace and quiet finally. I don't know how it is in your neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, that's what went on. That was something. One other thing I wanted to tell you, and one of the maybe the main reason I am so happy this morning, and I'm so happy this morning. Why are you happy, Mitch? Well, funny you should ask. It was like I got up this morning incredibly energetic compared to the way I have been for 4 months, clear-headed. I said, something is different this morning. I got out of bed, I stood up, and I felt, I don't know how to describe this, strength, movement in my right arm and right hand, more effortless, more feeling in my right leg. I said, this is different this morning. Something happened last night. So this, just to see if my feeling was correct or not, I said, I'm not going to try to get up this morning, go through all that, go in and out without a walker, without my walker in the house. The cane that I normally kept in the house, I keep out in the car. The other cane I have is out on the back porch. So I said, let's see what happens. And I spent the entire morning walking. Well, I'll qualify that in a minute. Unaided, except for a few times when I wanted to pretty much place the walker somewhere in the middle of the house where if I needed it later when I got tired, I could get to it. But I have been, for the first time this morning since my stroke, walking and doing things without any kind of a crutch or a walker. I figured, based on past experience, that would tire me out very quickly, but it didn't. It didn't. It actually gave me more energy. So I said, well, let me go outside. And I went outside for a while. Sat down on my back porch. And then when I came back in, I brought the cane out there in, and I said, okay, the cane is now, unless I think I might be dangerous for myself, it's going to replace my walker. So this is the second, I think, major milestone of my recovery. The first was when I permanently parked the wheelchair, because if you remember, for the first month or so, I couldn't get around. I still couldn't use the walker regularly. I had to drive my ass all over the house in a wheelchair, banging into door frames, all kinds of things, but it was the only way I could get there. And if you remember those early live streams that I started, I was sitting here, not in my cushy desk chair, but in a wheelchair. Well, that era has ended, and I'm really hoping, and we'll see what happens later today, and I'll tell you about it tomorrow, that my primary use of walkers as a way to get around is going to defer to the use of the cane. And the rest of this morning, I carried the cane with me as I walked around, just to be prudent, but not once. In all the back and forth I did in my house, going to get coffee, carrying the coffee into the office here, I did it on my own 2 feet with the cane up in the air, just carrying it. So I am on cloud 9 today of optimism about this recovery of mine. And there'll probably be some bad days where I don't have the strength. I hope not. But this is a new first. This is a new first for me. And not only a little change, but a sea change. I thought I wanted to share it with somebody. I haven't told my kids yet even. But it's one of these kind of days. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So that's the news this morning, and that's the best news I could ever bring you. Meatitude says, question, Mitch, I notice you rarely swallow when talking now. 100% regeneration. Thank you. I still have to swallow. I still generate saliva. But, you know, for some reason, YouTube keeps presenting me with all my old videos. And every once in a while, I say, I don't remember making that one. Let me look. And I watched my old videos from a year or two ago. And that's just was part of my mannerisms back then. Kind of turn my head a little bit and swallow. But yeah, it's getting better. My speech is not 100%. I hear the slurring, but I can eat better, swallow better, blink my eyes back and forth now. The facial muscles that were affected are starting to the pathways to those muscles And the one thing you notice when you have a stroke like this, see there, I just swallowed. You have no idea that there are that many different little muscular connections to your brain when you lose some of the function of those things, especially the fine motor skills of your hand. I'm typing with both hands now. Not like I used to, but I consciously try. Reaching out for the mixer is not a stretch. I can work the sliders and press multiple buttons on the mixer. I am recovering. And I fully credit the carnivore lifestyle for giving me back my health and maybe even saving my life and keeping this thing from having killed me, even though the hospital really tried. They really tried. The worst they could do was aggravate me, but they couldn't kill me. Okay, let me see. I've managed to. I'll keep doing it. Mitch, why do you keep looking at the clock? Got a clock right here. Clock right there, Mitch. You don't need to look up at the wall. Right there. Remember. Okay, who do we have here? Let me say hi to first in last night, Mary M. 8:26 p.m. right when I put it live, followed by Nikki and Lizzie and Tina was in here saying hello. Fur Grandma Wendy said hello. Told you don't forget the likes. Why not? Rick, number one in your hearts according to the current score in the chat, was in there last night, said hello. Jem was in here, has a doctor's appointment this morning, going to watch the replay. Isn't it ironic that most of the people who tell me I can't make it today because it has something to do with the medical community, but until we all get healthy, that's the way it's going to be. That's the way it's going to be, Sandy says. Sandy Bly, see you in the morning. Lady June said good morning from over there, I think UK. And Thomas, same thing. Hello, Mitch. I won't be here with the live getting my blood work at 8 a.m. Yeah, of course. But you have to do that when you start. Thomas is getting a baseline A1C today. Good for him. Hope you're feeling good, Thomas. Wayne Herman wasn't here last night. No, Wayne Herman was 6:29 this morning. Wow. And Thomas was at 4:32 this morning. I missed the insomniac. Rick was back this morning. Good morning from Miami. And Furl Grandma was back. And Roxanne Friend is here. Good morning, everyone. And the first of the Sealy boys to chime in, Mike from here in Melbourne, Florida. Peter's awake and with us. How you doing? And Rick is back, and Rick is prolific as hell this morning. Still riding on the high of a 9.5-hour live stream on Saturday. That's a marathon. But it's not the record. Richard Smith and Coach Stephen over in England last year did a 24-hour live stream, if you remember that. Had all kinds of guests on. That was nuts. Chris Swain from Down Under. How you doing, Chris? Good morning to you. Michael Pregler's with us before 8 o'clock. And Tanya is here. Thanks again for the coffee, sweetie. Everybody get ready for some common sense to start the week. Yes, Julie. Thank you, Julia Wigger. Hi, you, Julia. Good afternoon, Mitch from Great Britain. And me, Cool Cat, becoming a regular here. Mitch Fitz and Mitch, hope you're all doing good. I am having a banner morning. I am beside myself with happiness. Imagine me saying that in an Indian accent. Rick says he's still alive with no heart attack yet. Well, we expect one any day now with that stupid diet you're on, Rick. So keep us up to date. Aaron, hi Aaron. Booby Goats is on. He's here with us. Good to see you. Bacon Baby is here. Tammy Petarch is here. John Beatty Art. You're not trying hard enough, Rick. Rick, you get no. I'm telling you. Hang in there. Keep doing this. You'll realize how little respect you're actually going to get from this crowd. It's Rodney Dangerfield. Yeah, tough crowd. It's a tough crowd. Tough crowd. But good people, but a tough crowd. You're not going to get away with much here, but no, they love you. Honest, they love you. And I love you. Well, homage this morning. Tina comes back and says, good morning. Great to have you here. It was great Sunday. Somebody strap on your bravery. Email me at oldguycarnivore@gmail.com and say these words, Mitch, I would just love to come on with you on Sunday. You probably won't have to twist my arm. It's not like that. Okay, applicants for next Sunday's live stream, fill out this form and then hope for the best. No. No. Not like that. Not like that. Mia Toots is here. Good morning. Mitch and all here. And skip over ones I've said hi to already. Smoothie 420, how you doing? Good morning, Mitch and the gang. Brian Dish is here. 827. Rick is challenging Kilts to a 9.5-hour live stream. Rick, I think he could do that and more. That man has more energy than any living 70-year-old that I've ever met. Unbelievable. He's doing a 14-day fast. And every time I hear him say that, and I hear all this stuff about fasting, I think maybe it would benefit me to do fast, maybe a day, 2 day, 3 day. I do intermittent fasting every day. Most people don't fast. Obviously the people who do fast are doing fabulous. The only reason I hesitate is I don't want to deprive my body of the nutrients that my stroke healing needs. So I probably will, at some point in the future, give it a shot. The longest I've ever fasted was about 36 hours. And I didn't even realize I was fasting because I didn't eat because I was traveling and over to Orlando for that keto summit. There was nothing in that entire hotel that they had that I was going to eat, and I wasn't hungry, so I just didn't. And a day and a half went by with no food, and I didn't even think about it. So that was easy. But I'll have to try it someday. It's interesting. It's interesting. Lori's here. Good morning, Lori. Lori Weitzel, good to see you. Used to be Carney Lori, Lori's Carnivore Story. Like me, she now is putting it all out there with her last name. Something I hesitated to do for 20 years. You've all heard the story already. And John Beatty Art thought he was at 8:30. He goes, boom, and no, my friend, you were a little early. And Rick at 8:29. 8:29. Yes, sir. Here it is. Here it is. The winner, Brian. Good morning, sir. Quack. 8:30 on the money. Congratulations. Also at 8:30, we had Lady June. We had Michael Pregler and Therese who said good morning. And all you chuck roasters. Today we're chuck roasters. from beautiful Jamestown, California. 65 degrees with a high of 93. Wow. Nice that the mornings are cool like that. Rick at 8:30 and Lori at 8:30 and Rick again said sound was delayed. I don't know what you mean by that. Maybe YouTube slowed the stream down a little bit. Peter is back with us this morning. Hiya, Peter. Loretta Nadal at 8:31 is the first one. Peter was the last one at 8:30. So good morning, everybody. And Lori back says sip. I'll drink to that. And Richard Williams from Copper Hill, Tennessee. Good morning, Richard. And Francine Bourgeois is here from Montreal, Canada. Good to see you. Cordelia chimed in. We're up to about 100 people. Good to see you all this morning from Albany, New York. Lisa R. is with us. And there's a question. John Beatty says, have you noticed any big difference in decaf versus caffeinated coffee? For me, a little bit. I did notice the change. It took a week, maybe 10 days. It was subtle for me because I wasn't drinking 10 cups of coffee a day like I used to when I made a whole percolator pot full in the drip coffee maker. 6 cups, 8 cups. The coffee maker I had was a Cuisinart, and it had one of the thermos carafes, not a glass one. It kept the coffee hot all day. So, all day, I had hot coffee. And by the end of the day, it was gone. That was a lot of coffee with caffeine. A few years ago, I decided I'm going to have just maximum 2 cups of caffeinated coffee. So I kind of gotten off the high amount. And when I decided to give up that caffeine the first time was before my stroke. I had a lot of energy and I didn't notice any difference. And you'll hear a lot of people say, I gave up caffeine for a month. I didn't notice any difference. So why not? And that's what happened to me. I gave up for 30 days and I went back on it and started drinking it again. Didn't notice any difference. Said, well, I'll drink it. The second time I decided to try to get rid of caffeine was after my stroke. After my stroke, my kind of default energy level was about 10 or 20% of what it used to be. That's just part of stroke recovery. The healing, the recovering, evidently just saps your energy. You are not getting a lot of exercise because you can't. It's all you can do to get from here to there. When you're in a low energy state, the kick you get from the caffeine is much more noticeable. I got to the point where I said, I think I want to give up the caffeine, but can I even function without it? And I had a pretty sluggish couple of days. And the reason I thought that was because I had noticed that when the effects of the caffeine wore off, I would crash. Another cup of coffee would bring me back up again. And I realized that I was pretty much performing on drugs, on the caffeine, and not on my own neurotransmitters, because the more caffeine you drink, it allows your body to say, we don't need to worry about that anymore. He's drinking it, so we'll stop making it. And it stops making the neurotransmitters that you need. And after my stroke, I noticed the terrible, I don't want to call them crashes, but letdowns when the caffeine wore off mid-afternoon. So I said, I'm going to try without it. And for a week to 10 days, I did notice that I still had that. I was low energy. I never got to the headache phase, but low energy. But I was drinking decaf. So it was probably two-tenths, 2 or 3% of the amount of caffeine in a regular cup of coffee. Instead of 100 milligrams of caffeine, there's like 1 or 2 in here. I don't know if it's enough to have helped. But after about a week, I noticed that my energy level started to come up, and it just stayed there all day. I didn't get that afternoon crash. So that's what I figured the caffeine was doing. When I finally ramped up the production of the neurochemicals that had been replaced by the caffeine, I was fine. I have as much energy without the caffeine, maybe more, as I ever had with the caffeine. Maybe giving up the caffeine is what's responsible for how good I feel this morning without it. Maybe it's worse than I thought it was, and it should be a big no-no in carnivore, like every other thing we're addicted to. But who knew? And just because it happened to be does not make it law or a great idea for everybody else to follow. But experiment a little bit if you can. But you have to be open to your own body and listen to what it's telling you. And notice these things consciously. The time of day when it just seemed to go, bah, that's it, I can't do it anymore. And do a little N of 1 experiment on yourself. I hope that answers your question. That was a long answer to a short question, but it's I think an important subject. God, how many videos have been made about coffee and saying, oh, it's bad for you, it's good for you. 10 reasons to drink coffee, 10 reasons to never drink coffee. I mean, everybody's got a different take on it. And like this shirt of mine says, that's exactly how I feel. I may be wrong. For me, I doubt it. So I'm happy with the decaf. I get the same. My habit of drinking coffee is still going strong. Get up in the morning. It's a ritual thing. It's a habit. It's an association. But it's less chemical addiction now. So I can still enjoy the coffee. There's a whole school of people, but it comes from plants. Okay. You know, who's perfect in this world? If that's the closest I get to eating a plant, I think I'm doing pretty good. There was a $2 little super chat from Lizzie. I want to thank you again for that. Michael Pregler wishes Lizzie a happy birthday. And I'll wish you a happy birthday again. So everybody's wishing Lizzie a happy birthday here. Rick says, since Kiltz has a free group and a free Zoom call, he's pulling all of us in. Well, that's the idea. That's the idea. And I have to try to remember Monday at 5. It's not part of my normal routine now because I just started it last month to be involved in that Monday Zoom call. More power to him. The man's got a great message. I agree with just about all of it, especially the part about stop trying to micromanage it. He said this morning, he said, he doesn't know what his blood pressure is. He doesn't care. He doesn't know he doesn't believe in testing, he said, because you name me another animal that's alive on the face of the earth besides humans that ever goes in for a blood test. Or the dogs and cats who we have just screwed up dramatically with the garbage poison we feed them. We have to take them in for blood tests now. But what animal in the wild knows what their blood pressure is or cares? And I've always believed in the concept of ancestral eating. That's why when they named the paleo diet paleo, I was already well aware what Paleolithic meant, and it just made common sense. Common sense is something that we need to let dictate our lives. More important, more so than propaganda. Sandy Blythe says, Rick, you're chatty this morning. No shit. Gary, good morning, Gary. No Slow says, happy birthday, Lizzie. Lizzie. I am, wow. I am a full half hour behind. I am 4 minutes into the stream. And the little devil on my shoulder looks at me and says, so what's new? That's just the way it goes. Don't forget to put the QQQ in there to bring something to my attention. I'm still doing this a one-man operation, and I love it that way. I keep it up. I got 108 people of my friends here with me this morning. How could you ask for any better than that? We have the sun shining here in Melbourne, although the time of year now, the summertime, if you don't like the weather, wait a minute. It's our slogan. Generally, we have afternoon thunderstorms, and that's pretty standard. I think because of that hurricane, what's her face? I don't even pay attention to that anymore unless it's coming here. Going up the East Coast is sucking a lot of the moisture away from here, so weather's pretty good. Glad the holiday weekend is over with. Said that already. Now I need to start actually going to work here, paying attention. I'm still dumbfounded about the difference in the way I feel. Like I said before, between today and even yesterday. Wow. It was like something reached a certain threshold as I slept last night. And I got a great night's sleep, went to bed early, got up early. But from the minute I opened my eyes, something's different today. Something feels more normal. And I hope it isn't fleeting. I hope it's the beginning of a whole new stage of recovery where the pace of my recovery and the getting more back to normal and walking and the ability to maybe start exercising again has finally started to come back. Rick says, Mitch is a record-setting stroke recovery process. I don't know. Depends. I think so. I didn't have a severe stroke. The kind of stroke that could kill you. In the hospital, they told me I had a mild stroke. But being completely paralyzed, you get that from a TIA, a transient ischemic attack. And people, get up and walk out of the hospital, and in a week they're feeling back to normal. There's almost no damage done by one of those. It is a harbinger of basically maybe something worse will come. My stroke, I don't think they know when they classify these things, but it wasn't a major stroke because my recovery started within weeks. Now, it's been 4 months, over 4 months now. But you can't time these things because no two of them are exactly the same. They all affect different muscles, different things. But I think with the level of stroke that I had, I think the carnivore diet is a game changer in recovery. I really do. Really do. If not just for the fact that you can live alone easier because you don't have to be so preoccupied with food all the time. I do think that most people who had my stroke would not have been able to live at home by themselves as quickly as I was able to. Probably would have had to spend more time with either people with them or in a nursing home. But I was able to come back quick enough. to be able to navigate around my house with a wheelchair, get up and down the steps to get in and out, and but you can't compare two people's recovery because they're not going to be the same. This is when I was talking about my stroke recovery. Mitch, did you eat one of those sexy steaks that you were back? Not yet. Not yet. I had already had one of the two remaining steaks that I had left on hand was defrosted in the freezer. And it was defrosted. And I planned to make it to sous vide it. And I, of course, in all my running around, I forgot to put it in the sous vide. And it got to be 4 o'clock and I wanted to eat it. And I had my air fryer sitting there. And I said, well, I would rather have sous vide it. It's not frozen, so but I just want to cook it. So I've settled on the Ninja 651, the 7-in-1 air fryer. That, I had 5 air fryers. The girl that cleans my house has had awful health problems for somebody her age. She's probably around 40. She's diabetic. She's all kinds of things. She's not in bad shape, but like everybody else, she's just beginning the descent into a slow, painful death. And being here and working for me, she's been trying to start the carnivore thing, but addict nonetheless, and lives with her father, who is younger than me, a lot younger than me, and sick as a dog, and has all the bad habits in the world. And her son lives there, and her son is a young kid. And if you listen to my video today, you'll have a deeper understanding about why it's so hard to get kids to take carnivore seriously. And she's got it coming at her from 2 ways. Well, I gave her my Ninja 551. I gave it to her. I said, here, I got more air fryers I know what to do with. I've been using the 551 because it was out, and I took out the 651 again and started using it for the past week. And then I said to myself, why have you been using the 551 when you got this thing? It is still, I bought mine. I look on Amazon. I bought mine last June. So I've had it over a year. I've used it. But I said, why haven't you done this a year ago? So I gave her my 551, which is a 6-in-1. The difference between the two, main difference between the two, is that the 551 does not have a grill with its own heating element, and it doesn't have a griddle. The 651, the grill has its own heating element. It's not just heated by the hot air coming from the top. It heats, you can cook on it with the lid open like a grill or a griddle indoors. It is the one kitchen utensil. Even if you didn't have a kitchen, for God's sake, you could do carnivore with just that. And I've settled on, so I gave it to her, because she can't afford it, and I want to help her out. I said, here, take this. And she couldn't believe it. I gave it to her yesterday. And interestingly enough, I looked it up. Let me get it back up here. Bear with me a second. Let me see. All right. And I go to my Amazon page. And I still have that Z-Star. If somebody wants a really cheap air fryer, I think it's under $100 now. Let's see if they still got them. Currently unavailable. They come and they go. I left it up there because Some people it's a good air fryer and the best deal in the world, but it's not always available, but I don't take it down. But this is a 651. That's the best cooking utensil appliance on the market. It's $184. It's a 300. It used to be $350. It's $184, and that price is settled somewhere around $180. And to show you, the 6-in-1, which is this one that I gave to her, is now $279, and it's nowhere near the air fryer that the 7-in-1 with the thermometer built in is. That's $179, and the 7-in-1 without the thermometer is currently unavailable. So that's the deal. That's the deal of the century, and it's great. And I'm starting to just stop cooking steaks and chicken thighs in it. I'm starting to expand out and find better ways to use this thing with less cleanup. I love it. I love it. So how did I get started on that? Here's how I got started. Did you eat any of those sexy steaks? That's how I got started down that road. No, I haven't yet. And I think, I was telling you, I cooked that steak in this thing on the grill with the heated grill. It took 8 and 10 minutes to thoroughly cook it from raw and out of the refrigerator, which means it was cold. It came out as good as any steak I've ever cooked at home. Sous vide too, included. It was rare. More on the rare side of medium rare. It was seared on the outside with grill marks of that grill beautifully. I gotta tell you, sous vide is, I mean, you know me, I love sous videing this stuff, but I gotta tell you, if I never eat a better steak than that, and I can get that on a consistent basis from this silly little $184 machine, I could throw away everything else I got in my kitchen and just use this thing. Yeah, it is fabulous. So I am going to spend some time, more time in the kitchen, experimenting with it, especially when it comes to cooking things other than beef or steak. You can't slow cook in it, but I got a crock pot and an Instant Pot, which between the two of them, or three of these appliances, there's nothing I can't cook. I hardly ever use my oven anymore. One of the brilliant things, and this I know from my stroke experience, when I had my stroke while I had hamburgers on the grill and thought I was going to I thought my house was going to burn down because I couldn't get over to it to shut it off. I tend to not leave something cooking. When I cook bacon and eggs, I do not ever go away from the stove. But when I'm cooking in one of these air fryers, I don't worry about it because everything they do is on a timer. Worst comes to worst. Not that I expect it to happen again, but I didn't expect something like that to happen in the first place either. Worst comes to worst, the timer runs out and the thing turns off. You're not going to smoke up your house and add another emergency to the emergency that you're already having. QQQs, any QQQs here we go. Yes, that's Media Tuesday. I saw that one when you said it. Thank you, Mitch. Have you been lifting any weights or trying different exercises? Muscle mass. Yeah, Mike, I know that, but it's you have a stroke and tell me if you can lift weights. I'd love to. I try as hard as I can with resistance bands, but when you lose the use of one of your limbs, and one of your legs, one of your arms and one of your legs, you're not lifting weights. You're not lifting weights. I got to get back to it. And as my arm gains strength, I'll be able to do more resistance work. But as far as weights, no, I'd kill myself right now. I'd kill myself. The difference in strength between my left side of my body and my right side of the body is so pronounced, even now, that if I try to do anything with weights, for example, I could curl a 25-pound dumbbell easily in this hand. I doubt I can curl a 5-pound dumbbell in this hand. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I don't have dumbbells. I gravitated away from heavy metal weights, but I'm doing the best I can, Michael. Thank you for the advice. I do. You got to know that I know enough to know anything you tell me is not wrong, but it's impossible at this point. Glad to hear you're doing well, says Lambs. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Congrats on milestone. Oh, I was talking about my wonderful morning. Lizzie, Julia Weir says your speech is so much better. I am improving. Yeah, and like I say, today is a milestone day, I think. First day, I actually got up and walked everywhere. Did I just hear somebody knock on my door? I have a doorbell out there. Did I just hear somebody knock on my door? No. See, that's the beautiful thing about a Ring camera. I can bring it up here. I can see who's at my door. And if necessary, I can press the button and talk to them. Perfect for those Sam delivery people. Sam's guy yesterday comes with an order from Sam's Club. And the first time since I've been having Sam deliver stuff, I'm ready for him. I see on my cameras that his car, he pulled up right in front of my house. And then I looked again and his car is gone. And he's, so I'm trying to find him. I know it's Sam's because I got the thing and my app says he's on the way and it showed me the little car coming right to my house. Guy got lost. Couldn't find my house. 10 minutes. I finally went outside, walked up past my car, and I looked down the street, and he's sitting up there at the end of the street, puzzled. And then all of a sudden, my phone rings. Meanwhile, I'm over there waving to see me. And my house has got the address on the house, the address on the mailbox. Nobody's ever had problems finding me. He calls me on the phone, and I say, look out of the right side. Well, his English wasn't great. Look out your driver's side window. And it took 15 minutes to get that guy to find my house, make my little delivery. Fortunately, there was nothing in there perishable. There was some frozen meat, but it hadn't been out long enough. And what I ended up getting was the frozen hamburger patties and the frozen salmon fillets. And I eat a lot of them now. And a jug of pork rinds. And I needed a jug of pork rinds. I didn't need the salmon, and I didn't need the hamburgers. I had plenty of them left. But in order to save $12 on delivery, as a Sam's Plus member, you got to have it order at least $50. So I got a jug of pork rinds. I kept it over $50 and got the delivery for free. Gave the kid a tip, and but I can't believe he got lost coming to my house. Where are we? Up to 10 minutes to 9, and so a half an hour behind. I seem to have comfortably settled in. A half an hour behind. I'm looking for questions. Questions. Jay Bud says, day 9 with no coffee, but still tuned in for Mitch's morning coffee. I hope so. I hope so. You don't have to have coffee. You don't have to eat or drink anything. Doesn't hurt to get a little hydrated in the morning. In fact, it's a great idea. Before I have my even first cup of coffee, I try to drink a certain amount of water or water with electrolytes. Because if you think about it, you have just gone for quite a few hours without any liquid, and normally got rid of whatever had to be expelled anyway. Terry Sue says, I'm fasting today with maybe a side of filet mignon. My kind of fast. Terry, and it's my kind of fast. Hey, Tuka's here from Finland. How you doing? Good to see you, Tuka. Rick says he can't fast for more than 5 hours. I don't believe that, Rick. Really? Are you just pulling our chain? Here's somebody I don't recognize. Yes. See, I know how to pick them. I have a memory. Annabelle, the happy carnivore. Hi, Mitch. This is my first live stream. Welcome. Welcome, Annabelle. You know, you look like in your picture, you're a younger lady, and that's so apropos for my video I put out this afternoon, and it just tickles me to see the younger people come in here. Most of the younger people I get are women, interestingly enough. I guess the young guys still think they're immortal. More than likely. And Annabelle says hi to everyone. Very nice. I hope you like this, and it's a little different kind of a live stream, but we have a great community here. And if you're even thinking about going either keto or carnivore lifestyle, especially carnivore, no plans. This is the place to be. The people in here are the most experienced and are the most helpful, most wonderful people you ever want to meet in your life. Sophie says, I do a 2 or 3 day fast every now and then. Really feel good after. I don't know if I'm missing something or not. I don't foresee any 14-day fast like Kiltz does, but he's at least allowed for the opportunity that it might not work out. He has backup plans for 10 days and then again at 7 days, and he's done 7 days. So he knows he can do that, but be careful, man. You don't want to go backwards. You don't want to go backwards. Rick says, thank you, Rick, that I was his inspiration for Live at 8 with Rick. I'm sure you see the similarities. Well, thank you, Rick. Thank you for the credit for that. And I'm honored. I'm honored, too. CB Carmack is with us. Hey, CB, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Rick, you got a hi from Annabelle. How about that? If you don't know who Rick is, Charger Mobile, you got to watch one of his live streams on Saturday morning. There's nothing like it. Not very really exciting and fast-paced, but different. Oh, Tuka, I didn't train hard enough yesterday. I didn't throw up hard. You don't need to train that hard, Tuka. You're on a tear, man. Going for the Mr. Universe contest or something. Questions. Tammy says she's on a 72-hour fast a few times to break a stall. I lost about 6 pounds each time. Unfortunately, the weight comes right back. Yes, it does. Stop. I tell people, stop trying to lose weight. Stop trying to decide what you want to weigh. Stop trying to outsmart your ancient physiology and programming. It's not up to you to decide how much body fat you're going to carry or not. And any attempt that we make to override the natural or break a stall, get it started, follow some harebrained fad sugar diet thing to get ripped when this to you becomes, it took me a lifetime to learn this. If this becomes all about how you look, you're bound to fail. If you only just eat the right foods in somewhat close to the right quantities, the magic will happen. It may take 3 times longer than you want, but it does happen. And when you finally settle at that weight, it stays there. No matter what you do, you could eat more food. You won't put on any more weight. I could eat twice the food that I do right now. I won't gain an ounce, as long as I don't eat sugar and starches. The good news is I don't want to eat twice what I eat now. I'm not that hungry. I'm just not that hungry. I don't always want food. Most of the time, I keep telling you, when I do eat, it's more like, well, I could eat. Then I'm starving to death. Boy, I'm going to die if I don't get some food in me. Never happens on carnivore. So stop trying to hack it, to control it, to outsmart it based on some phony goal that you consciously said, let your body do its thing. Find homeostasis. It's easier said than done because we are so programmed for the quick fix to everything. And that never helps. All the Weight Watchers people have gained it all back. All of them. All the Biggest Loser people have gained it all back. All the people that have tortured themselves doing something that was unnatural and didn't fit in with a prehistoric lifestyle, like fasting in short periods, end up getting right back to where they were. So, I mean, it sounds 2 weeks fast might have been something our ancestors had to go through, but I'm not convinced that a fast over 72 hours is either necessary or that helpful, because you are throwing your body a shock and it has to recover, which is why when you fast that long, you have to, it's so important that you don't just dive in and eat half a cow. You have to start with mild bone broth and all that and come down from a fast. I don't think we should have to do that. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know the second part of that. That's nice. Thanks, Jerry. Says I would have been a good researcher. Yeah, I do that. I'm a good troubleshooter too. That's why I do so well with computers and electronics. You need to get down here. Such a chatty bunch you guys are. That's just sad. One of my friends just had to put a dog down full of tumors. Yeah, we're feeding our dogs the same diet that have caused the cancers in humans. Dogs didn't used to get cancer. I never heard of that. I've heard about a lot of that lately. Oh, wow, Annabelle, you're lucky. Annabelle says she has a carnivore doctor. Wow, wow. God, let's hope there are more of them around. But boy, if you can get a carnivore doctor, you're most of the way there. You're not going to get the scolding and lectures about, you need to take a statin, you need to take a statin. Let me look over here and see what you guys are talking about now. Rick's talking. Scatter here. Hey, morning. Says morning all A and B. I didn't eat for a day because my body was having a reckoning. My stomach said, I'm done. I listened. Rick's becoming the star of my show. Careful, Peter. You you guys are fighting for dominance in my chat. And all the while, I keep trying to catch up here. Talking about food, how to cook it. Yeah, I see. When I'm this far behind, I remember what I was talking about at 9:10 in the morning. My God, I picked up 5 minutes. But everybody's talking about what you eat. All good information. Great discussion. Great discussion. Scott Elliott's here. Hi, Scott, from Colorado. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. I still keep reading it. I try to read everything. Yeah, Terry C says Mitch has quite the stock of gadgetry he could give away when the spirit moves him. It's not the giving away that I mind. Believe me. It's the having to get it to you that I mind. I have to box it, find a box or box it up, get it to UPS or wherever. I can't do that right now. It's always been a hassle when you do a giveaway. If it's somebody that can come over here and get it, I would give away all kinds of stuff because I have too much stuff that I bought. I thought it was going to be the be-all, end-all of carnivore. I want to experiment with it. I wanted to make videos with it, but I felt so relieved to get rid of one of those air fryers. I've got 2 Cosori air fryers. I will never use them ever again. They take up space under my counter. I still got that Z-Star air fryer, which is a good air fryer, and that one I'll keep as a backup. But it wouldn't hurt my feelings to get rid of those 2 Cosoris with little basket-style air fryers. Reason I have 2 is because I had a recall on one of them, and sent me a new one for free. And the one that I had, there was nothing wrong with it, so I kept it. But I probably shouldn't use it because they claimed they recalled it because it caught fire. Well, not a good thing. But I don't plan to use it anymore anyway. I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I can tell which is which. I doubt I would give anybody the original one. The best thing for me to do, I don't even want to donate it because it might be dangerous. I probably should just throw it away. If you remember, a year and a half ago, I made a video where I cleaned out my kitchen of all the old gadgets and crap that I bought, gave it to Goodwill, including a fabulously expensive Champion juicer. If any of you know what that is, that I had for 40 years. I even bought into that nonsense. And Peter, if you were here, I'd smack you in the face for this one. I'd smack you. I had some matzah and guacamole. What the hell are you thinking, Peter? Good. Punish yourself. For those of you that don't know what matzah is, it's a Jewish cracker, unleavened bread for the Passover holiday. I used to love that shit. My grandmother used to make fried matzah. Oh, my God, that was good. That's the Yiddish version of French toast. Not real healthy, but not as bad as some because it was cooked in chicken fat. There were no seed oils back in those days. Well, there were, but nobody used them yet. So, true confessions from Peter. Peter, look, we all have to do these things. When I got back from the hospital, I thought I needed to have some carbs, so I got stupid for a while. I even made videos about why I rationalized being stupid. But you learn. You learn. Sandy showed up at my door for me to donate something when the door knocked. That's funny. It's funny. Yeah, look, we're giving recipes out. Talking about air fryers now. Oh, question. Can you explain what the problem is with carrageenan gum that is found in some versions of heavy cream? You know, when I first heard about that, I looked it up because I had never heard of it, and I forgot what it said, except that I had come to the conclusion that it's not something I wanted. It's a preservative of some kind and an emulsifier, I think. Let's see what Dr. Gula. Well, there's the answer right there. I didn't remember what I read. It wasn't important enough for me at the time to, because I found out instantly what I needed to know. Carrageenan is a vegetable and vegan alternative to gelatin in some applications and is used to replace gelatin in confectionery and other food. All right. I don't want it. I don't want it. It was developed in the Philippines. I'm sure. Is carrageenan harmful to humans? The USDA has approved the additive for use, but concerns about its safety remain. Some scientists believe that carrageenan causes inflammation, digestive problems such as bloating, IBD, irritable, and even colon cancer. Well, again, propaganda from Dr. Google, but it does make you think. It does make you think. Does Greek yogurt contain it? That and Greek yogurts win the award for the most additives. They are high in sugar, low in calcium, and considered gluten-free and are colored using carbide and carrageenan. It never ends, folks. Stay away from processed foods. That alone could save your life. That alone could save your life. It's so simple. Who has to know all of this shit? Who has to take the time to learn all of this shit? Learn how bad each and every one of these additives they put in shit. Just assume. Just assume. DS111, and you're probably smart enough, you know this already, that if they have to add it to the food, it's not good for you. Because all the food that we eat should be additive free. So the advice on buying heavy cream is to try to buy single ingredient, heavy cream. Problem is, it has to be much fresher than the stuff that the stores sell to increase the shelf life of it. So if you live next door to a farm and you can get cream, more power to you. It's the second. Oh, Annabelle and says I heard about you from watching Rick's live stream. Yes. See, Rick, we have a mutual admiration society. I send them your way, you send them my way. Same thing with me and Curry and Kilts. That's how it works. That's how we grow with people, influencers, that aren't just giving people bad advice. Now, maybe collectively, all of our advice is bad, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Thank you, Annabelle. 2 years carnivore. Yeah. I am 3 weeks away from my 3-year carniversary with only a brief vacation to have a stroke and recover from it in the hospital. Vacation that I was trying so hard not to take and not to eat the poison that they kept trying to tell me was what was healthy for me, and I have to stop eating all that meat and get my cholesterol down, because that's why I had the stroke. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Talking about air fryers. Welcome, man. Air fryers. Saw a question just went by from Kathy. Carrageenan is an emulsifier. will harmfully thin out the mucus-like lining in your stomach and guts. Yeah, you can't find too many good things. I can't think of too many good things that I just read in that little Google piece. Oh, my phone just went ding. What is that? What was that? Probably something that has nothing to do with this. Yes, it's my daughter with some work for me to do for one of my clients. Oh, we're at 9:33, 9:40. Hey, not too bad, not too bad. Holy cow, is it 9:45 already? My God, where does the time go? Where does the time go? Wow, this is my kind of breakfast. Yes, 111. He says, I just ate breakfast, half a pound of bacon, a small bowl of sausage, with 2 eggs over easy, some coffee with butter, and heavy cream. Wow. Terrific. I will be able to work like a slave all day with no breaks. Yes, it does that, doesn't it? It does that. Hi, Spunky Bear. Sue. Hi, Sue. Spunky Bear lover. Just noticed you were with us today. And CB. CB, I cooked a 2-pound bone and ribeye last night. Ate the whole thing. Ah, you're an animal, man. That's it. I cook these ribeye. Some of them are a pound and a half. They're this thick. Some of them. And you look at that and you cook it and you say, I probably won't eat all that. And we always do. You just keep eating them. And then the last bite or two, you got it just right. If you have to think twice about it, that last bite, it's almost too much. That's when you know you've had enough. And you just don't want to eat anymore. Try that with a bowl of spaghetti and meatballs. See if you ever get any kind of clue that I need to stop stuffing myself, other than the fact that you get so bloated and uncomfortable you can't move, and you're still hungry. That's what happens when you eat carbohydrates. Terry, she says I could probably donate them to the clubhouse kitchen. Probably. If I talk to those people anymore, I can't remember the last time I've been in that clubhouse. Years. Annabelle, start using your air fryer. It'll change your life. I'm reading, Kathy. Please slap me too, Mitch. I had another $6 pound of ice cream. I know, Kathy. I know how hard it is. I know. The only way I know to overcome those addictions, and that doesn't always work either. It certainly hasn't worked for my daughter, because they get to her, is have food immediately available to stuff your face whenever you get even a thought. Even a thought, a mental image of ice cream, or you start longing for it. Oh, it would be so comforting. And I need it. I deserve it, because I've had such a stressful day. I need to treat myself with a reward. I know how the thinking works. because that's me. And if you happen to have half a pound of bacon cooked up, a couple of hamburger patties already, run to the refrigerator and start stuffing them and keep eating. And don't just eat a bite. Eat until the thought of eating another bite of anything disgusts you. And stop worrying about I'll eat that much, I'll get fat. Stop worrying about your weight. Get over that addiction, or that shit will never go away. I'm telling you, the only way after all these years that I've ever been able to keep that addiction at bay is continually eating meat and good food and making sure I never get hungry and quench that hunger the second a thought of wanting carbs. And I just, other than this little bout of recovery again from the carb adventure caused by the stroke, I could care less about that stuff right now. I had to give up Kilsy's ice cream to do it because that was close enough to real ice cream to keep the addiction alive. Some of us just shouldn't do that. Other people who aren't quite as addicted can do that with great success. But anytime you look at food as a treat, you're vulnerable. If that food is like a ribeye steak, that's good for you. But unfortunately, we don't get that kind of addiction to ribeyes as we do to sugar. I've explained why that's prehistorically not only feasible, but certain many, many times. Don't have time to get back into that today. It's another rabbit hole we go down. All right. We're talking about Carnivore here. I just read that no. Unfortunately, as far as a discount goes on something like that air fryer, my vacuum sealer, yes, I have a arrangement with them to give 15% to my viewers. And, you know, on an expensive appliance like that, that helps a little. It's a great appliance. But on an air fryer that's sold in huge quantities to everybody, Amazon still has the best discounts on that particular air fryer, and it's worth having, and it will last you years. And considering the fact that just this week I spent $308 on ribeye steaks, $189 investment in an air fryer, doesn't really sound that outrageous, because those steaks will be gone in a month or two and cost twice as much as that air fryer. So I don't look at these kitchen appliances as big investments. I know it's tough when you're tight on money, but there are certain things that really aid in executing this and sticking to it. And I try to point them out. Try to help by pointing them out to you. And a lot of people have gotten that 651 Ninja and just love the hell out of it. Me too. And I don't do anything with it that it's really capable of between the grill and the griddle and the air frying and air crisping and dehydrating. You can make beef jerky with it. It's got so many things. You could open the lid, turn on the grill, and actually cook on the griddle. It shows you I don't know what I'd cook on the griddle, but you could probably cook a hamburger on it if you do. Although I've been cooking, past couple of days, I've been cooking my hamburgers from frozen in it, the patties, and they just have been coming out delicious, delicious. And it doesn't take long to clean up either. I got myself one of those dish brushes. They come on. I didn't put a link to them yet on my page. I probably have to. I found them. They was like $7 for 3 different shape and size brushes for washing dishes. And when you want to clean your grill plate on that thing, and it has the indentations, taking this brush and just using that immediately cleans it in a little soapy water. It's crazy how fast you clean that thing up. And that's one of my primary considerations. know what, the food, how much work they're going to do to clean up after myself. Imagine being a vegan. Every dish you eat has 50 different ingredients you have to worry about. You have to have every utensil and dish in the kitchen and bowl out just to make a salad. Those people are nuts. They're crazy. Tuka wants to know how I am, boss. Tuka, you might not have been here when I told the story, but today is one of so far turning out to be one of the premier days in my recovery. I feel so much better today and energetic, and I'm walking with no help. So this is the day. We'll see if it continues. Do you think barbecue over coals is dangerous? Nah. I don't like gas grills, so I looked at a flavor. I don't think so. I don't think you'd eat enough of it to hurt you. Charcoal is inert anyway. It really is. They use it to filter things. I mean, think about this. You buy one of these Brita water filters or put it in a home infiltration system, and you're running all your drinking water through the charcoal. None of it gets in the water. Now, you could argue that burning it and the smoke and all that. I don't think so. I don't think so, but I don't do it because I don't like the mess. I have to clean up. I don't even. But then again, like I was just talking about, I kind of always tend to want to have the least amount of work and time because I got other things to do than worry about cleaning up my entire house after making one meal. So if I can't clean up something in less than 5 minutes completely, I'm going to find a better way to do it for me. But that's just me. That's just me. And especially after the stroke, I always have to be cognizant of how much physical work do I have to do in order to accomplish this. And that's where the air fryer and the sous vide come in so great. And the sous vide, I use a carbon steel pan. I never wash it. I just wipe it out with a paper towel. Leave that little coating of grease on tallow on there. And that's a great preservative. Keeps it from rusting. So everything I do, there's always that eye on the aftermath of the destruction left from doing it. I haven't done it. I have hit the bottom of the jet. I have hit the bottom of the jet. Rick says, I see that. Wow, I never heard of anybody that didn't hear of Mitch. But, wow, I hit the bottom of the jet. Tammy's in there. She doesn't own an air fryer. It's possible. Many people don't own air fryers. Yeah, everybody's got some kind of a cooktop and oven in their house. At least most people do. You can certainly get away doing carnivore with just an oven and a cooktop and a frying pan. Many ways to do it. But the air fryer just adds. One of the things that it adds is the food just comes out so damn good when you cook it in these days. You don't realize how good it comes out because an air fryer, the word fryer is a misnomer. That was a marketing term put in where people could think they could cook foods with less oil and it'd be healthier. Well, if you're cutting back on the seed oils, yeah, it would be healthier. But you want to increase fats. Now, we carnivores don't view fats as oils. And the only oils which are liquid at room temperature that qualify as good, okay fats for carnivore are the vegetable fats, the plant fats, coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil. But I don't believe they're as good as tallow, lard, is pig fat, suet, sheep fat, duck fat, chicken fat. I honestly don't think that the liquid, so we don't think of oils as fat. an air fryer was designed to cook by hot air. And we all know that method by another name that does exactly the same thing. It's called a convection oven. And that's what air fryer is. It's not designed to fry anything. It's a convection oven that cooks with hot air. Every commercial, bakery, big restaurant has convection ovens. It's the most commonly used kind of oven in big production kitchens. But most people don't have one at home. So you get an air fryer. Now you've got a little countertop convection oven. And the nice thing about this particular Ninja is it's both a convection oven and a grill with a hot grill surface heated by its own heating element, independent of the heat that comes out of the lid, which is where the hot air comes. That's the convection part. Many of the high-end ranges that we have in our homes have the same combination. They can cook with just heat from the heating elements, or they can cook with heat from the hot air, convection, or a combination of both. So, Harry Dion says, question, Mitch, you don't use a smoker much anymore. Well, duh, Harry. I can't walk, or I couldn't walk. How the hell am I going to be running inside the house smoking meat? I'd love to use that thing. Yes, I think they're worth buying. It's not the lack of wanting to use a smoker. It's the infirmity that keeps me from lugging all the food and the utensils and the plates and everything outside and sitting up outside and going back and forth all day to check it. I just can't do that with the steps involved, up and down. I couldn't do that. It won't be long before I'll be able to do that again, and I can't wait. So yeah, Harry, I don't want to be hard on you, but that's kind of obvious why I haven't been doing that. And for the same reason that I haven't been lifting weights. I haven't been running marathons either, in case you hadn't noticed. I haven't been walking miles around my community and pontificating. This stroke has changed completely in every aspect. My life. Most people would be devastated and depressed, suicidal over something like that. I'm not. I'm fighting like hell to get back to that. And it's a long fight, but so far I'm winning. So, as they say, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, and no other disasters befall me, and I don't have a big hurricane come along next month and float my house down the river, or who knows in this world. They keep knocking me down, and I keep climbing back up, and I'll keep doing that until the day that I'm done. So hopefully that might be an inspiration for some. For some people, think I'm a fool and say, why don't you just give up already? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I really, the few times I managed to use that smoker before I had the stroke, I really liked the food. But I will tell you this. It's time consuming, and it's a lot of physical work, which goes against my main philosophy of carnivore. That is, keep it simple, stupid. It's not that simple. If you got to keep it, you got to keep monitoring the temperature and making sure the wood's in there and it's smoking enough, and then you got to deal with your neighbors. If they get the neighborhood too smelling like that stuff, they start complaining. I don't know what that guy do. So. Yes, I love it, though. I do love it. All right, enough about the smoker. Smokey Bear Lover. Wow. Retired Rick says, question, I guess I better say hi, Mitch. Hey, Rick. How you doing? How are you doing? Well, we've managed somehow to get past 10 o'clock. Wow. Got to the end of the chat. Let me do this. let me give you a little happy music, because I am going to be back tomorrow. No sense to say it all today. Let me save some words for tomorrow. Have my video coming out this afternoon. Look for that. And I'm going to go try to walk some more and see just how much I can walk. I've already walked more today than I do most mornings before noon. And by then, I'm usually starting to tire out. It'll be interesting to see after I've been sitting here for more than an hour and a half, whether the sitting rested me or, you never know. Sometimes after you've been sitting a while, you get up, you feel more tired. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So everybody have a great day. Saying goodbye to everybody. Annabelle says goodbye. Mitch, goodbye, Annabelle. Nice to meet you today. Hope to see you back. Lady June, bye. See you all tomorrow. And Tristan, didn't say hi to you yet. Bye, Mitch. Take the rest of the day off and eat meat. I intend to. I truly intend to. Smoothie says, have a great Monday. Meathead, good day. Good day, Meathead, everyone. Scott says, bye all. I've got a lot of retired guys' stuff to do today. You ever notice the busiest people on the planet are retired people? Explain that to me, will you? I never could figure that out, but I am one of them now. Tanya says, appreciate you, Mitch, and you too, Mitch Fish. Well, we appreciate you, Tanya. Thank you so much. Wayne Herman says, bye. The music's about to end. Here we go. I've heard that song so many times, I know exactly where we are in it. Thanks for coming, everybody. I really enjoyed this morning. I'm a happy guy this morning. Great progress. See how tomorrow comes. Hope not a letdown. I hope just keep building on this. But until then, until tomorrow morning, there's still a lot of other YouTubers to watch. So it won't be that boring a day. For me, I'll give you the rest of the day off. Tell you to eat meat.